Welcome, friends. Sometimes the best revenge does not involve breaking the rules, it involves following them exactly and watching the fallout from a front row seat. Grab your popcorn. The overtime trap. A couple of years ago, I worked as a junior accountant for a mid-level construction firm, the kind where the office politics are thicker than the concrete we poured. Our team was small. There was me, two other junior accountants, and Karen, our team lead. Now, Karen had been there for years and loved three things: control, credit, and crushing the morale of anyone who didn't suck up to her. Her favorite way to flex: mandatory overtime. Karen had this habit of waiting until 4:45 p.m. on a Friday, just before we were about to pack up, and dropping massive last-minute tasks on us. Every time it was the same speech: "This is urgent, and if you want to show you're a team player, you'll stay late to finish it." Funny enough, the task was never her responsibility, but the praise for finishing it always ended up in her Monday morning report to upper management. Now, I did not mind working late when it was truly needed, but Karen had us staying until 9 or 10 p.m. at least twice a week, usually for things that could easily wait until Monday. I brought it up once, and she gave me that corporate smile and said, "If you want to grow here, you'll need to sacrifice a little. That's what leaders do." Cool. Message received. The setup: one day, I'm working through some payroll reports, and I stumble on something interesting. Karen has not been approving our overtime hours in the system. We were all salaried according to company policy. If we work more than 45 hours in a week, we could bank extra paid time off. That time off had to be logged and approved in the system. Guess what? Ours were always marked as denied. I quietly asked the other two juniors. They had not been paid out either. Turns out Karen had been manually rejecting our entries, so the system showed she was managing a highly efficient team that never needed overtime, which made her look like a productivity genius to upper management. Meanwhile, we were burning our weekends and getting nothing for it. That was when I decided it was time for some malicious compliance. The compliance. The next time Karen pulled her usual 4:45 p.m. Friday dump, I smiled and said, "Absolutely. I will stay late. Just need you to approve the overtime in the system before I begin." She looked confused. "There is no time for that now. Just log it later," I replied. "Sure, but I need approval first. You know, per policy. Otherwise, the hours get denied, and I do not want to break company rules." She tried to argue, but I stayed firm. She either approved my time first, or I was going home. She ended up approving it grudgingly. So I stayed late, finished the work, and logged my hours. Then I did the same thing every time she gave me late work. So, did the other juniors? We made it our new rule: no approval, no overtime. Soon Karen had to start justifying actual overtime cost in her reports. Her super efficient team was now costing the company an extra 10 hours a week in logged time off. Upper management noticed. The sweet revenge. A month later, our department was pulled into a meeting with HR and the finance director. They had done a systems audit and found that overtime logs had been manipulated for over a year. Apparently, Karen had been rejecting entries without informing HR, causing a pileup of unapproved time. Off that legally should have been honored. Long story short, the company had to pay us back for every single overtime hour that had been denied. And Karen, she was reassigned to a remote training role, 50% pay cut, no team, no authority. She basically got exiled from the office she ruled over. No more late Friday power trips. No more stealing credit. Meanwhile, I used all that bank-paid time off to take a 2-week vacation, fully paid. There you have it. This is malicious compliance. Smart, sassy, and strictly by the book, just not their version of the book. Because sometimes the best way to fight back is to follow every rule. Exactly. If you're loving the irony, like the video and don't forget to subscribe.